Hey guys, Sublord here, back again with another action figure review. Today I'll be taking a look at the Street Sharks, is it 30th Anniversary Collection Jab, the Hammerhead, brought to us by the fine folks over at Mattel. And I'm going to try and keep this review a little shorter than Ripster's since we don't need all the background info. So before we get too far ahead of ourselves, why don't we cut right to the chase, get to the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all Jab has to offer in terms of accessories. And once again, just like Ripster, comes with a plastic cage. It's actually the same cage I had in the last video because it's the same with all the figures. The other two cages I got are broken down just to be stored, but you know, you can pop those apart and do what you want with them. It's cool, but if it would have knocked $5 off the price, I don't think anyone would have minded. That said, taking a closer look at Jab, always liked Hammerhead Sharks, man. They're so crazy looking with their crazy head. Speaking of his crazy head, pull his arm back and he's got jabbing action. So much so, his spinal cord is popping out there. If you can see that, he's got all kinds of spinal cord detail on that post. So that's pretty cool. Then like Ripster, he's got the fin with the moving mouth there. I would say Jab's works a little better than Ripster's. Not as much to contend with as far as the quote-unquote real shark skin, which I'm still not a fan of. I don't care for it. I wish it was thicker, especially up here on Jab. It is really thin. But down by the mouth and stuff, it's pretty thick, so I wouldn't worry about it too much, but it's just not something I'm into. As far as articulation on him goes, otherwise, his shoulders will move out, back down. This arm, while it does have the gimmick, you can still move it. It's got a little ratchet in there. So that's kind of cool. If you hold the head down, it's a little easier to move the arm. But very nifty. Single jointed elbows with rotation. Swivel and hinge in the wrist. He's actually got a closed fist and an open hand. And no, he is not reuse of Ripster, I don't think. If he is, maybe it's just the arms, but I notice he's got a little bit more like claw marks or something on him, whereas Ripster had all the veins. That said, he does have a traditional waist twist this time around. He does not have a power punching gimmick. I will say he does have the drop down hip thing going on. And he will kick forward and back. He's got rotation here in the knee. As well as a single joint there. I will tell you, his rotation in the knee works a little better than Ripster's. For some reason, I don't know why that is. That's just something to note. There you go. It's hard to get that last pop in there so you could straighten them out all the way. Then of course his feet have the hinges. Kind of just feel like ball pegs on him. But there's supposed to be a hinge in there. You're not going to get much because of the boot cuff. I don't know why they don't have a rocker, but they have drop down hips. That seems really stupid, but whatever. Again, if you know nothing about articulation but want everything to move under the sun, then I'm sure you're in hog heaven with that tiny, like, couple millimeters of drop down from the drop down hip. But that is Jab in a nutshell. He is really cool as well. I always liked the bizarre looking sharks, like the goblin shark I always thought was cool. It would have been cool if there was like a Thrasher shark in this show named like Whiplash or something. He had like whips, but either way, with that being said, it is time now that we move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is good old Jab alongside his buddy Ripster. We took a look at yesterday. Check that review out if you haven't already. Really appreciate it if you did. As well as their arch nemesis, whatever, Slash the Narwhal, even though he's got a drill bit for a nose and not a machete or even a chainsaw or something. Again, not sure why they called him Slash, but I digress. Getting them out of the way. bring in our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibilith. Right there. And the infamous Living Spawn, who I'm very curious. Jab is almost the same height. If he could stand a little bit straighter, he'd be about the same height as good old Al Simmons here. So, with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and much like Ripster, who we took a look at yesterday, again, check that review out if you haven't already. Would really appreciate it if you did. I have to say, the good old Jab here is another super solid representation of the Jab we all know and love from the original Street Sharks series. That said, I'm still not 100% sold on the quote-unquote real shark skin thing yet. I just hope the stuff holds up over time because, let's face it, these guys are too cool to deteriorate. Let's not kid ourselves. That would really suck if that was to happen. Knock on wood, it doesn't. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.